Hey everyone, I am sharing with you today a follow-up from my post earlier this week about the famous quote, "All disease begins with the gut," which is a fair statement, I believe. All of our body systems are connected, and gut-brain connection's huge in regards to creating happy hormones and the feedback systems throughout our whole body. And your gut is like the powerhouse, the central core, and if that is out of whack, then you'll have a flow-on effect of symptoms throughout your body. So I get asked all the time, how do I fix my gut? So here is my take on it. I believe in the 3R approach that you may have heard before, but if you haven't, it stands for removing, repairing and replacing. So to begin with, we want to remove any common irritants. These can include antibiotics. If you've been on them, just wait until you finish the course of them. Alcohol is a big irritant. Coffee on an empty stomach in the morning is an irritant. A lot of conventional dairy can be irritating to most people, and conventional gluten. I believe it's the wheat, not the gluten, but that's another whole side topic that we're not going to get into today. So those sorts of things are common irritants. You'll know within your body if you eat something and it makes you feel yucky or lethargic or sick, that's an irritant to you. So maybe you need to remove it. Now, I'm not saying that you can never drink alcohol again or never have coffee first thing in the morning, running out the door, not eating breakfast. But if you're serious about wanting to repair your gut health, you may need to remove these things from your diet temporarily to allow your body to heal. Because if it's given the right environment, it can heal itself really, really quickly. Now, other common irritants that sometimes our bodies need help removing and we're not always aware of can be things like heavy metals. If you've got any silver fillings in your mouth, they're actually constantly leaching amalgam and mercury into your body. So to help our livers that are constantly trying to detox, we need to support that in having lots of greens that can aid with removing the heavy metals from our system. Other irritants that we don't often think of that can be affecting our gut health is parasites. Don't be alarmed. The common saying is if you have a pulse, you have a parasite. It is a very normal thing to have, but they can get out of balance in our bodies. So it is good to do a parasite cleanse quite regularly just to keep everything in balance. Don't be alarmed. And parasite cleanses are really easy to do, relatively simple and relatively cheap. And no, it doesn't mean taking those weird chocolate squares from the pharmacy. They sort of only target one type of parasites, and we can have hundreds in our body. Most of them can have a symbiotic relationship, meaning it's mutually beneficial, but still we need to keep them in check. And if they've got out of control, this can be what's causing your gut irritation. And lastly, of course, I'm going to mention environmental toxins. These are unavoidable. We live in, a toxic world where we spray the foods that we eat, we spray our homes with pesticides, termites, like all the things. There's exhaust fumes, there's chemicals in our water, so it's unavoidable. We're constantly getting a stream of chemicals, also the personal products we use, the cleaning products, the list goes on. You don't need to get paranoid or overwhelmed. What you do need to do is just support your body's natural detoxification process. And if this isn't working as well, or if it's getting overwhelmed, this can be another thing that can be causing gut irritation. So you can sort of see there can be a huge array of things that can contribute to poor gut health. But fear not, there are some very simple tricks and hacks that I'm going to share with you of how to remove these toxins out of your body. First and foremost, of course, I would love for us all to switch our current beauty personal care products and cleaning products to natural, biodegradable, chemical-free versions. So every time you run out of something, toothpaste, shampoo, dish liquid, look for a natural alternative. Of course, I sell a lot of those, but it's totally up to you. It's very personal experience. You've got to try a lot of things to find what works for you, but there is a lot more to choose from now than way back in the day. So we're kind of spoiled for choice, and that will make a huge impact to your toxin load. All those little things really do add up. So what else can we do to remove toxins from our body? There is a few natural supplements that I do sell in store that will assist your liver and your GI tract in removing all the toxins and making your body function better and overall better gut health. The first one is my favorite, and it's activated coconut charcoal. This stuff is awesome. You can use it for so many things, but I'm going to try and keep it concise. Just think this is like a giant sponge. You mix half a teaspoon to a teaspoon in water. You take it first thing in the morning or last thing at night, and it goes through your GI tract and just soaks up everything. It'll soak up bacteria, viruses, molds, toxins, and just get you to poop it out. Awesome. But there are some important things to know about charcoal. You must drink a lot of water because it can have a binding effect, aka it can make you a little bit constipated if you're not drinking sufficient water with this. The other thing, because it's a sponge and it just absorbs everything, it can also absorb other supplements or medications that you're on. So it's important to take it away from any other medications that you're on. Basically, an hour or two window is enough, and hence why I either suggest first thing in the morning or last thing at night in some water. So activated charcoal, super good. Another option, if you didn't want to do activated charcoal, is bentonite clay. Very similar, same thing, need to drink a lot of water with it, but it goes through your systems and help to absorb heavy metals in particular, and bacteria and things like that, and remove them out of our GI tract. So two really affordable, easy to take supplements that are going to help remove those toxins from your body, and as the beginning process to healing your gut. Parasites. I know you're all dying to know, how do we treat these guys? Well, similar to the charcoal, there is a thing called diatomaceous earth, which is basically really old ocean floor, like all the crushed up shells and seashells and things like that, into a fine powder. Super high in silica, on a side note, so it's really good for hair, skin and nails. But this powder under a microscope has a super sharp edges. It's safe for us to drink, but when we drink it and it goes through our GI tract, if it comes into contact with parasites, it actually slices them and as a result kills them. I know that sounds really gory, but if you think of the alternative, like the little chocolate squares that you get from the pharmacy, that's just poison. So it poisons you and the parasite, so it dies. This way it just sort of cuts it, it gets overwhelmed, dies by its injuries, and you poop it out. So less chemicals. Again, you just mix it with water, a teaspoon for an adult, and you have it once a day. You do that for a 2-week period, and then you have a 2-week break, and you do it for another 2 weeks, and that is your parasite cleanse done. You could also do it with reishi mushroom, is very effective as well, but this is very cost effective. Again, side note of caution, when you are mixing it with water, try not to breathe in the powder. When it's in an air form, it can be a lung irritant, but again, it's very safe to drink in water. And then of course, when you're doing all these cleanses, key things, stay hydrated, do some light exercise like walking or yoga. The movement helps to keep everything moving in your body, so it's getting removed and it's not reabsorbing. Having like juices and smoothies and whole foods just aids your body in detoxifying easier and more efficiently. So another great thing to add is a tea. So Regenix do a detox tea, but lots of herbal teas are very beneficial in supporting our liver when it's doing its detoxification. Anything with dandelion in it, so the Evie's blend tea as well is really great for detoxification and supporting the liver. And that is how we start the process. This is removing the crap out of our life and out of our system so we can heal our gut. So after the first month of doing any one of those processes, again, your charcoal or your clay you would only do for a month, and that is sufficient. Some people do that once every 6 months, sometimes once a year. It's totally up to how you feel within yourself. But once you have done a removal, then we can move on to the second R, which is repairing.